All right, all right. Hi, guys. So Libras, welcome back and happy birthdays to all of those of you that are in your birthday season. Well, you all are, but it might be today. I don't know. Anyway, happy birthday, guys. So we're going to jump on into a reading for you. This is going to be heavily steeped, of course, in what is the story for Libra. And as you all know, this is the art of storytelling through symbols. I am not a psychic, and I am not going to be able to predict your future. That is not what I do here. It is purely stories, and perhaps those bring up fresh new ideas, food for thought. So please enjoy the storyline. And if you don't, no worries, just move along. It is just not your story today, but listen to it with that intention instead. It is a story, and perhaps there will be something inspirational or some particular message that uplifts you. So I did a pre-shuffle on this one because I want to begin with some of the Egyptian mythology. And I have to read up on this first before I know the ins and outs of things. So that's anytime I do a pre-shuffle, it is because I'm usually working with a brand new deck. So, and that is indeed the way this is today. So I've only used this deck, I think, once before, and again, had to do a pre-shuffle on it. So you begin with Aset, which is in Greek mythology, this would be the equivalent of Isis. So Aset is the most powerful, in this case, they called her a sorceress of all time. She carried with it all of the energy of the moon, and all of the wisdom of the ancients. She was able to trick Amun-Ra into speaking their true name, and then she was able to also, through that kind of like trickery, she was able to kind of absorb his power as well. She represents actually not just power. This is a tremendous amount of power to produce things. This is the equivalent to the magician, but she's bigger than that. So this is not just the magician card. She is representing, number one, maternal energy. You see the horns here of the goddess Hathor. You see the protective wings, kind of like a promise that there will always be protection around her and safety, especially if she chooses to bestow it someplace. This also speaks of, you notice how she holds the scepter in one hand, and that represents authority. Here she has the Ankh in the other hand, which represents eternal life. She is like a funeral deity, meaning that she represents kind of all of the funerary processes of releasing one thing so something else can, like, basically she heralds the energetic exchange of something new being reborn as one thing is released. So it's very much pertaining to talents. It's very much pertaining to resurrection. It's very much pertaining to having the power to create life, having the wisdom of how to use your gifts wisely, having the trust that you are protected by the universe, and you in turn may mimic some of that and protect others as you build a life for yourself. And she stands in this oasis. There's a promise of really like abundant times ahead of you. Some of you, the storyline anyway, it's representational of that. So this is where our story begins. Now, the underlying card, so what's at the bottom of the deck here, and I almost never look at a bottom of a deck, but I am particularly in this reading because I'm doing this very differently today. This is a read I've wanted to do for months, and it's just now is the right time. Underneath the deck, so here's our foundation. Here's our motivation. Here's what we have to stand our feet on solid ground in order to achieve this. We have equal give and take, and we also have a certain amount of generosity. So this Six of Scarabs, as you can see, this is, she feels like she has abundance enough to give to someone who is in a situation where they have less than she does. This is a wonderful time to stop and pause and say, what do I possess? What is the good fortune I've been given in this life? Is it, am I a billionaire? Most likely not. Most of us are not. But have we stopped lately and thought about all the gifts the universe has given us? Oftentimes we get into a mindset of deficit where we only think of the things that we haven't had. This card, the foundational card, says, wait a moment, pause and think. And not to like compare, well, aren't I glad I'm not in that bad position that other person is in? But there are always people so much less fortunate. There are trials and tribulations around this world that are unthinkable. And sometimes we get in our own rut and we only think of what we're going through and we forget all the other things that others are facing. And it does make us count our blessings a little bit. So this is just saying, foundationally speaking, you have a ton of abundance. You have a personal well of wealth to pull from in your energy, in your intellect, in your skill set, in your beauty, in your kindness. So all of these elements that make up who you are. If you've forgotten to think of the gifts that you possess and all of the things that are going right in your life, now is a great time to think of that, because it's going to and you may want to do something generous for somebody right now, and it could be something little. It's as simple as paying somebody a compliment who's having a bad day. And maybe you were having a bad day, but then you look across and you go, wow, that person looks like they're having a rough time, rougher than I am. You know what? I can kind of uplift them along my way right now. And so some of you might already be really, really good at that, but this is putting you in a position where you are actually just now understanding how powerful you actually are. You have a really wonderful foundation of gifts, skills, and talents. And frankly, you can resurrect whatever you wish to in your life. But it first starts with counting up your skills, your gifts, and your strengths. And maybe in this storyline, that's what needed to happen first. I don't know. We'll see where this story is going to take us. I love the beginning of this because it's so potent. This is not counting up any losses. This is only thinking of your own strengths and then pulling that forth and saying, are you kidding me? I'm Asset. I'm Isis. I've got power like you wouldn't believe. And you ain't even seen what I can do yet. Like, this is really exciting. This is a great way to have a birthday season. So we are shifting right into an awareness of which direction do you want to go? You have choices to make. 5 of Pentacles says, okay, 5 of Pentacles is, sometimes we talk about it as like, oh, there's a lack, right? But is it really? Because a 10 of Pentacles would be perfect. So if one person brings their 5 and lays it on the table and the other person doesn't, does that mean that that person who brought their 50% wasn't good enough? No, you were flipping amazing. You brought it. You came in, you walked in like a boss, you laid it down, you had the courage to do that. If somebody else can't reciprocate, doesn't mean that they are not not wanting your 5. It might mean that they don't have 5 to give in return. So it kind of flips the script on, where is there a deficit? Well, it might have been in the other situation. If you didn't get that raise, maybe it's not because you weren't worthy of it. It's because they couldn't afford to. They literally couldn't afford to. Or if someone couldn't meet you and actually give you their love and give you a love offer in return, they literally are not feeling good about themselves enough to do that. So this is actually assessing, oh, wait a second. There are other reasons that something doesn't work out. There are other reasons that somebody doesn't meet you for that cup of coffee. It had nothing to do with, they had to cancel and reschedule multiple times. Maybe they genuinely have been having nothing but stress and troubles. Maybe they're having anxiety attacks. Maybe their car's breaking down. They don't have their babysitter. They're this, they're that. So all of that imbalance where you're like, well, you know what? This friendship just isn't working because they're not able to even meet up with me. They must not want to. Now there could be tons of other reasons. And it's so interesting because you move on from the idea of there being any lack, and you just simply are standing there going, there's always 2 stories, right? There's always 2 sides to everything. And to just keep moving forward and know that if one thing doesn't work out for you, all it does is it allows you to make new decisions. Okay, that person's not going to meet up with me for coffee. Well, I slated that time to have coffee with them. What should I do? Should I go get the coffee alone and go talk to somebody new and go, I'm going to make a new friend today? Should I scratch the idea of coffee and instead go for that jog and work on my fitness? Should I spend that time investing in like reading something, and that one paragraph that I read could change the whole rest of my life and some deep, profound life lesson? Anything can happen, but the biggest thing is to not sit in the deficit, but to move forward into whatever this newfound sense of freedom is. There's not really a lack at all. There's an open path. Oh, the moon. Oh, I love this one. It kind of fits with, I imagine that like it's right out there behind me in that window. I love this moon card. I like the moon card anyway. Piscean energy. This is all about things being more illuminated, things that haven't been, you don't know how everything's going to go. That is true. You don't know how it's going to go, but you've got a new love offer coming in. This may be from someone that you already know. This is a mighty big fish in this cup. I don't know yet who this person is, but what you don't realize is that maybe somebody who's only watched you from afar is interested in you. This is getting off to a new start. Remember the power to resurrect things. Remember that you have the power to redefine the way you look at your situation. That is like, it's ushering in all this new energy for you. This is a new love offer. This can also be an apology coming in. It leads to the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is the 1111 card. By the way, it's 11:08 in the morning right now where I am. So we're pretty darn close to that. Wouldn't that have been funny if that had come out at 11:11? This is what you don't see coming, but you sense it. I feel like there's this awareness that you have, that your life is kind of like open to you. You are taking charge of things is what I would say, because this Two of Wands is, you know that you have the choice, that you are the one who holds the power. What do you want? The only person who will make your life good is you, right? Which is a wonderful energy because it means that you personally get to choose. Do I walk through this door or do I walk down this path? Do I drive over here to meet up with this person or do I go a whole new direction and invite somebody new into my life? What is it that I want to change in life? It is actually up to me, but you don't see that what is coming in is some kind of a love offer or an apology for you. I think that the reason things are shifting is because you're standing in a position of power, knowing that it's up to me as to how my life goes. And then what's so funny is the universe goes, excellent. I'm glad you've got that powerful position. Now, let me surprise you. Like, that's what I feel like this is. We've got, okay, so World card in the reverse, and then we've got a Four of Cups. So as far as missed opportunities go, as far as idealizing something goes, I feel like I feel like you've been on somebody's mind for a really long time. Somebody who has not stopped thinking about you. They could be a Capricorn, but somebody who is, if there was a, like, man, I wish that I had asked you out all that time ago when we worked together. They're going to maybe do that now. Or someone who wants to make an apology to you. Someone who never felt right about the way things went down. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So a surprise that comes in is possibly an apology, possibly a love offer, leads to something very stable. But it's a new emotionally fulfilling chapter of your life. And that Four of Wands does not have to be, this could all be about a job. Somebody calls you up and says, hey, we should have hired you. You were great. You were a great candidate. The other person that we hired instead didn't work out. What do you think? This could be something where your resume stayed at the top of a pile anyway. It was a really tough decision for someone to make, and they knew as soon as they made it that wasn't the right decision. So if you ever got passed over, again, I feel like this storyline is about like reassuring you that you are not, you were never in a state of lack. There was never a deficit in regards to your talents, your skills, but I feel like you now believe that, you know that. Maybe, I don't know, I feel like you're getting some reassurance from the universe and it's bringing that up in you. Or that's what the universe is trying to do in this story, is to remind you that you have the ability to tap into all of that inner strength, to tap into all of that inner power. I want to ask one more time, though, about the Six of Pentacles that we saw that was at the bottom of the Egyptian deck, the Kemetic Tarot, because I feel like that's something about that. That's the action that's going to help bring you into this newfound sense of like, wait a minute, I'm awesome. I'm looking forward to making choices and seeing what, Fool card. There is something that gives you some huge sense of courage all of a sudden. And it may be that you help somebody else and they're like, maybe somebody really expresses their gratitude, like, oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know what I would have done today. And that actually, hearing those words is something that makes you go, that's true. I have a lot of value. You know what? That's true. I actually do a lot in this world. I bring a lot of value in this world. Anything that hadn't worked out for you, anything that you had wanted to be yours that wasn't yours, somehow somebody's words tell you how important you are. And it does give you this newfound sense of like, yeah, you know what? I haven't ever lacked in my life. I actually have a lot of skills. I have a lot of talents. It's a newfound sense of belief in yourself. And that sets you off in this new energetic direction. And as is so typical, as soon as you're feeling good about yourself, as soon as you're feeling powerful, as soon as you know that you're actually excited to see where the road ahead will lead you and that you get to make all the decisions and choices about what you want next, that's when the universe kind of, surprise, here comes something where it's almost like the confirmation comes in from someone else who's thought all of these things of you for a very long time. They've thought you were amazing. They've thought they wanted to apologize. They've thought they missed out on an opportunity with you. They haven't been able to let go of this. They wish that they had hired you, or they have been acknowledging all along, Libra, there is something amazing about you. That shows up just when you basically don't need to hear it because you're good. You know that about yourself. This is such an interesting reminder of all of your worth. And then it's like the universe wanted you to make sure that you knew that. You know that. Know how much you are valuable. Know how much you help others. Know how much the collective needs your energy because you are flipping amazing. And you go, yeah, I am kind of amazing. You know what? All right, I'm good. I don't hurt. I'm not sad about other things that didn't work out. Just means I got new adventures up ahead. And I'll rock those too. And poof, here comes this person, this Page of Cups. Tell me a little bit more about this. I want to know about the love offer. I don't really want to linger on Nine of Cups. You are somebody's wish fulfillment. Six of Cups. Somebody sees you as a soulmate. This could have been somebody who just wished that they had asked you out. This could be somebody who it may not have been a lover that you already had in the past and things didn't work out together. This could simply be somebody that they see you all the time because you always gas up your car at that gas station, and they work right across the street in that whatever coffee house or something. And they, for whatever reason, they see you and they always think, gosh, I wish that I could ask you out. Gosh, I wish I could ask you out. And this is like one day they're going to. This is so funny because you being somebody's wish fulfillment and somebody feeling like you are part of their soul tribe. I just had done a bonus reading this morning where it's like somebody has this impetus to move forward and speak their truth and put themselves out there a little bit. And I feel like that's what this is. Libra, the storyline for Libra today is basically like as soon as Libra knows what worth and value Libra has, somebody else feels the same, like, I need to run up and tell Libra how amazing they are. It's so funny how it's almost like you are opening that doorway. Maybe before you couldn't have heard those words, so you were energetically closing this person off, saying, no, don't come in and offer me anything. I'm not in a place where I can hear it yet. Now you are, and you're going to believe it. Somebody walks across a parking lot to ask you out, and it's like, I actually believe they really wanted to ask me out. Whereas the old you might have been like, oh, whatever. I'm sure that this is, somebody is just kind of like, they do this to everybody in the parking lot, or you know what I mean? You might have dismissed it, blown it off or something. In this case, you actually look at the person and go, I wonder why they're drawn toward me. Am I drawn toward them? Now, this could be somebody from your past. This could be somebody who has wanted to say for a very, very, very long time that you are a wish fulfillment for me. This is a returning soulmate, but I do want to stress, especially knowing that first we had Asset come out and the Isis card, that's about renewals, refreshing, returning, and the funerary process. This could be a past life person. So they could be new in this life, but old from other lives, right? A returning soulmate doesn't have to be someone that we know in this lifetime, not in this story that I'm telling. This is, some of you may meet somebody in a park. Some of you may choose to meet up with them, or they ask you to meet them someplace by a fountain, someplace where there's something really beautiful outdoors. It certainly feels like it's some kind of a park. You know, it's fall now, but it's still not terrible weather yet. This is a great time to meet up outdoors, enjoy those last, beautiful evenings. And I don't know why, but I want to almost say like vineyards or something as well. This is a situation where somebody is very much ready to tell you that you're important to them. Somebody who feels a connection to you that's really, really strong. I feel like they had an opportunity to tell you this before, though, and they didn't take it. Yeah, they've been really stressed out about this. Nine of Swords. Somebody's been super stressed out about this. If this were all about career-related things, then this is somebody who wishes, oh my God, I wish that we had hired you, 10 months ago. Like, we really could have used your talent. This has been super stressful. But we wanted to make sure that we could offer you the right kind of an offer. Now we can, but we also desperately kind of need your help. It's a little of that. We got a 3 of Pentacles. So again, this could be a situation where they had to basically move somebody else out of the way in order to offer you that position, and it's now available. This is somebody who is no longer working with a different situation is now able to make you a confident offer, is what this looks like to me. But they've been very worried about this, because what if you say no? If this is a love situation, what if you say no once they offer you this? That's going to suck. They're very nervous about this offer. It's not that they're nervous about the offer. I take that back. They're nervous about your response. That's a different story. This person has no doubt. We see that with the 9 of Cups. We see that with the 6 of Cups. Somebody wants to it's very much about a renewal, a refreshing sense of, can we start over? Can we do this again? But they're very worried. What if you say no? Because they're so certain at this point that you are there, 4 of Wands. What if you say no? King of Wands in the reverse. What if you say no? This could also be like, are you able to, I don't know, there could also be somebody jealous of you saying yes to them. They could also be very worried because maybe it was a fire sign you dealt with in the past, but maybe they showed a lot of like arrogance or something in the past in behavior, or they're worried that you'll think that of them. King of Cups in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, Queen of Wands in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the reverse, 4 of Pentacles in the upright. Someone has been extremely busy in their life, which is probably why they didn't make you an offer until now. Someone was perhaps in a situation that was very difficult, something that they really didn't want to put energy into, but it was also very hard to get out of, something that could have carried a lot of guilt for somebody to leave. And I just say this because we've got this King of Cups in the reverse. We've got a Queen of Wands in the reverse. We've got an 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like, if anything, this person is perhaps just trying to explain why they weren't able to make you the significant offer that they wanted to a long time ago. Lots of burdens, lots of things that had to get cleared out. But this was never forgotten. You were never forgotten. Like I said, your resume was at the top of the pile all along. It's like you were always the first choice, but there were obstacles to being able to bring Libra in. Libra was the best choice, and they knew that all along, but they couldn't bring Libra in. But they didn't forget about Libra. This is like, I feel like there's been a lot of good things said or thought about you behind your back for a long time. This could be a surprise, because I don't know if you've realized that you've been admired or that your skill set has been recognized. I feel like there's an awful lot of things that were never expressed to you. With that Moon card, I feel like this is something that you didn't know how highly regarded you have been. You haven't realized that, like, maybe you've been a little bit distracted by whatever this was. whatever the feeling of lack was, that was maybe where your distraction was. And maybe the universe kind of gave you an opportunity. Not that you should ever have to feel like you're not enough, but the universe wanted you to know within yourself 10,000% that, yeah, I am enough. It was, I almost feel like this was a little bit of your journey, a little bit of you've been doing something. You've been elevating yourself. You've been shifting into a position of like power and trust in yourself and knowing that you're beautiful and knowing what your worth is and like feeling really jazzed about whatever adventure is on the horizon for you. And now here comes this kind of like, I'm going to say it's like somebody walks up and hands you a bunch of flowers, and then somebody else walks up and hands you a check for $100, and somebody else comes in and gives you, a slice of your favorite piece of cake. And you're like, okay, it is my birthday, but I really didn't expect to be like showered like this. And I feel like all of this, not because it's your birthday, but because you now know what your worth is. And it's like the universe is now reflecting that back to you. So if you've been reflecting out like negativity and hurt and pain, you might have, everything that you heard was like confirming that and like reflecting it back to you. Yes, something didn't work out. Oh yeah, I have to remember that wound. It didn't work out for me, or, this and that. It might have always felt like something was like just a constant reminder of the things that hadn't gone right. But now that you believe and you know that you're enough, the universe is saying, yes, let me reflect that back to you. Yes, you're enough. Yes, you're smart. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, you're desirable. Yes, you're handsome. It's like that is what we see here. So all of a sudden, I don't know, I just think that you're going to be kind of shocked by this whirlwind, shocked that you have remained your dignity, your skill set, your elegance, or your desirability has remained at the forefront of someone's mind for a very, very long time. Someone's mind or an organization. I don't know what it is there, but it's a beautiful turn of energy in your direction. But the key to all this is to, whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. But the key to all of it is to be Isis, be Aset, be the magician. Take your power and know that you're enough. And that sounds cocky, but that's what this story, I would argue that is the biggest message in this story. The second you know how much you're worth, the universe is going to be like, excellent. That's exactly what we want to give to you. So, oh, how exciting. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.